Welcome to another episode of Baddy Smash. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to go over the last week's summary. We're going to go over the schedule for the week coming. We're going to give our bets. We're going to give our predictions. We're going to give our highlights. Should be a lot of fun, Slade. Should be a lot of fun. Let's dive right into it. Let's talk about week one. So what I want to ask Slade is the matches that you got to see. What was your favorite watching week one, Baddy Smash?
Wow, did this season start off pretty hot. Like, there were some good ones right off the bat.
Oh, yeah. AJS knew what he was doing, starting Baddy Smash off with KK versus Mad Cow. That was a very good one.
Yeah, KK versus Mad Cow, like, really set the mood for the whole season going forward. I will say that Albino Joe versus Jimbone game was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, some doucher in the chat made us bias cast.
the wrong player.
Yeah, me and Blaze have a bet. Yeah, my money was on Jimbone, and I was forced to root for Albino Joe for the whole game, which broke my heart.
And Albino Joe pulled through. He pulled through, got the W. I have sent you your new profile pic for the week. I'm trusting that you will be using it in this recording as well as this week moving forward. You seem to be a man of your word. Yes, the Albino Joe versus Jimbone match was very well done. I got a chance to rewatch it because I was playing matches during it. But I'm very happy for my boy Albino Joe. I was going to mention the Reaver versus Cax match as one of my favorites from week one. Reaver was not supposed to play this week. He just made this guest appearance. When I saw him on stream, I assumed that it was just going to be some exhibition match. And here comes AJS saying, this is our last entrant at literal closing time for Baddy registration. And this kid made it, which they had conspired in advance. So he was a gentleman letting his opponent know beforehand, because if Cax is preparing to fight Neutronics and he's doing all this training and then here comes a Diddy Kong, that's not really fair to him. So Reaver let him know ahead of time.
Yeah, well, love to see Reaver back. Good to have you, buddy.
Another reason why I really enjoyed this match is Baddy Smash 5, Reaver completely forgot that Cax played Olimar. So in the previous season, Reaver prepared against Cax's Lucas. And when Cax went Olimar, it threw him off guard and he lost that match. And now he's, done his homework and now he's a little bit more aware. And that's what I like to see. I love to see the adjustment. So that's why it was one of my favorites. I wish I had gotten a chance to see some of Tuna Sub's matches. I think Tuna Sub played a bunch of matches off stream and he got some good wins over Wang as well as maybe over one other. But Tuna Sub's always exciting to watch.
Yeah, that I really wish I could have watched that match, because everyone knows that Wang is he's a solid player in this league, and Tuna Sub taking that W, I think that's huge. I mean, maybe Wang's out of practice, but either way, no excuse. Like, that is a good start to your Baddy season 6.
I agree.
But I want to talk about, because looking at the numbers here, Chai.
Oh, for sure.
Chai had 1 win on stream, 1 loss on stream. So he beat Lars 2-1, lost to Duds 1-2, which against Duds.
Great match.
Yeah, it was a great match. But more importantly, he beat Alpha Mew off stream in a 2-1. So Chai is sitting pretty nice now with a 2-1 record and a win over Alpha Mew, which, I mean, Chai, it sounded like he's really putting in the work watching his VODs. I really can't wait to see where he ends up this season in the bracket.
Yeah, I think right now, while we're recording this, we have Duds sitting in first place for round 1, Division 1 round robin at 3-0, KK at 2-1, and then everyone else just sprinkled in with 1 win and 1 loss. Me holding down the bottom at 0-3, but it's only week 1, so I've still got time. I hope to turn that around.
We all know that you're gonna be fine. But yeah, Duds the only one with an undefeated record in the round robin right now. So he's got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah, great way to start. Still got Division 1 is full of big names. So he's still got to go up against Candy. He hasn't played Alpha Mew yet. Still got a lot of big names ahead. So we look forward to seeing everyone's performance in the D1 round robin, because it's going to be a lot of heated matches. Some people are going to be practicing their secondaries. Other people are going to be focused on sharpening their mains. Should be a blast. Should be a blast. That being said, let's get right into next week's bets. So last week, you got to pick the conditions and I got to pick the match. So we will flip it this week. And I think the conditions we will play for next week will be the winner gets to do the intro for the co-host next week. So if I win, I will do your intro.
So I get to write what you have to say to intro me.
If I win, I just get to write what I say about you. So if I win the bet, right? If we bet against AJS Zero versus Hot Fist, right?
Yep.
And then you say Hot Fist is going to win. And I say, okay, I'll bet on AJS. And then AJS wins it. Then next week when we record, I get to say, welcome to Baddy Smash Recap. I'm joined by T2 Slade, who is holder of the most back knee in Wisconsin. Nice to have you, T2 Slade. Okay. Something of that nature.
What if I want to make you say my intro? Can I do that instead if I win?
Ooh, okay. So I have to say something positive about you. Okay, all right.
But I think that would be actually more fun.
Okay, you get to write the script. Winner gets to write the script. Okay. I'm down for that.
You can intro me however you want anytime, but it's not often that you get to choose what the other person says about you, right?
Okay, I'm down for that.
I choose game, right?
Yeah, you choose the game. Let me run down the on-stream matches while you think about it. We start week 2, Wellens versus LPJ in Division 2, followed by Albino Joe versus Kaiser, Wang versus Jimbone, and then Huckleton versus Afghan Bob. We switch to the D1 round robin, and we start with Candy Jack versus Alpha Mew, and then we go back to D2 with AJS Zero versus Hot Fist, Duds versus Mad Cow, and then me versus Lars, Blaze versus Lars. Those are the 8 matches we know of.
This is hard because so many of these matches I think are going to be really close. Like really, any of these 8 matches, and that's the beauty of Swiss. Most of these matches are going to be close. I think I'm going to go with, since Wellens is our guest, which we'll be hearing from later. Let's go with Wellens versus LPJ. First match of the night.
All right.
Set the tone.
That would have been my pick. It was either going to be Wellens versus LPJ or Candy Jack versus Alpha Mew. All right. I think I'm going to risk my Baddy Smash recap script on Wellens. I'm gonna bet on Wellens.
Okay, sounds good. Locking in.
I'm locked in. All
right, that'll be a good one.
So tune in next week when one of us will have completed the script for the other co-host. Should be a blast.
Oh man, I want this one so bad.
While we're on the subject, do you have any other matches that you're looking forward to off stream or on stream, Blade?
Oh, so many. That question is loaded. Albino Joe versus Kaiser, I think is going to be a close one. And these are both players who I feel like probably don't get that much of an off-season grind. So seeing them come together and like seeing who could brush the rust off quicker is going to be a great game. Jimbone versus Wing, another great game because Jimbone, I think we've been seeing some more practice out of him. I think he's coming in a new man this season. And, I'm curious to see what Wang's got after that loss against Tunisub. I'm wondering, is Tunisub that great, or is Wang feeling a little rusty this season? There's got to be one that you're looking forward to the most, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to watching Candy Jack versus Alpha Mew. Candy Jack I think the last time he played Alpha Mew, it was 1-2 in Alpha Mew's favor. Candy Jack is one of those people that will do his research prior to a match. I enjoy watching the Commissioner play, so I'm excited to see AJS Zero versus Hot Fist, the Commissioner versus one of the rookies this season. Duds versus Mad Cow must have been played, 30,000 times. So I want to see who's going to have the edge over the other. And I'm excited to play Lars. Once again, I think this will be our 3rd or 4th time playing against each other. Should be fun.
That is a fun matchup to watch. Bowser versus Incineroar, if it happens. That's like where dreams are made.
All right, well that's week 2. We look forward to seeing it. I guess coming up next, we're gonna have our interview with our newest K-roll on the scene, Wellens.
And we're back, and joining me and Blaze is Wellens for his first Baddy season. It's good to have you, man.
I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Wellens, this is your debut performance here in Baddy Smash 6. One of my favorite questions to ask the person we're interviewing is your first Smash game as well as your Smash background. So take us back in history, the history of Wellens.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going far back because I played the 64 like when it came out with the Nintendo 64. So my brothers and I were big on that game, and I've played every game in the franchise since then, and always liked the new one more than the last one. Props to Melee because it's the GOAT.
I'm with you. I played every Smash game as they came out.
Yeah.
But did you really enjoy every Smash game more than its predecessor? Like as they came out, like you picked it up, and like a month later, you're still in that zone that like I'm playing this game.
Absolutely, every game I liked more than the last.
I would agree as well. I will say that when Brawl was released, I played Brawl the most amongst my friends. And then they would when I would go to their house, they're saying, we're not playing Brawl. We're going back to Melee. So I'd have to do like 7 hours of Melee at their house. But it was still fun. It was still a lot of fun.
Do you go to locals?
So when I lived in Wisconsin, my brother and I went to a local there a few times. I think I probably went 5 or 6 times. I think it was called Edgeguard. And that was my first experience to going to a local. And it was cool. And I certainly would have kept doing it if, we went through that pandemic kind of shortly after. And then I moved, and now I'm in a new place. I live in Texas now. And I don't have any local friends who play it. All my buddies who play it are you guys, and it's all online. So the drive to go to locals isn't really there because I don't want to go alone.
You got some experience. You could probably still answer this. Your impressions of joining Baddy League compared to locals. Locals maybe a bit more formal and less trash talking than you might get here. I'm just curious about your experience. You join this league. It's kind of like a bunch of friends talking shit to each other. Like, how does it feel to you?
Well, that's it exactly. It's the camaraderie. I think that's what really makes this different than the locals I went to a few times, where the people who were, top players there consistently coming in third, second, and first were not really interested in playing with you if you were new. Whereas Baddy Smash is really embracing people who are new to it, who are great at it, who are average at it. It's a culmination of kind of what Smash is all about. And I quite enjoy this much more than the highly competitive scene of, what you would find at something like, what Rich is more associated with, Xanadu, something like that. I'm sure it's fun, and I'm sure that I would enjoy it if I did it. But I like the idea that Baddy League is just buddies getting together and playing.
Yeah, it definitely depends on your personality when you go to locals, right? Because every time, if Xanadu is Tuesdays and Fridays, I feel like every time I go, I meet someone new, and we just get into, oh, where are you coming from? Which other locals do you go to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And
awesome.
it is hard to approach the consistent top 8 players. I know people who do, they'll just run up to people like Pink Fresh, they'll run up to ZD and they'll be like, oh, I saw your match. Can you look at my gameplay? Blah, 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 blah. But I'm not really into that. So it depends. Cool. It's going to vary person to person.
Nothing wrong with groupies.
And it's not a groupie. It's more of I want to approach you to get tips, right? It's like they desperately want to improve their game. They don't want to spend $5-6 just to lose 2 matches and then go home. So they're really trying to take that opportunity to learn from these players that win money every Tuesday and Friday. Because that's a goal for a lot of people. I want to win money playing my favorite game.
For sure.
It'd be amazing.
That is the dream.
Yeah. Only imagine.
I think a lot of people actually will $5 money match people at locals. People who are much better than them, just to get them to
Right.
play against them, just so they have an
Yes.
opportunity to try to see what they're doing wrong and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that wasn't my experience with locals. There weren't money matches, at least to my knowledge. We had maybe 15 people regularly, and then I went to kind of a big one that was it Marsh? Marsh is a guy, right?
Marshall.
Marshall. Yeah, Marshall went to that. And so that was the biggest one that I went to, where it was like we were playing on stream, and I got to play Marshall, and I beat him our first set, but then there was like a three-way tie between me, him, and someone else. So then we all had to play each other to move on to the next group. And they had me play both of them first on stream. And I think it's on YouTube somewhere, but my nerves were, I was shaken because I was playing on stream. I was playing against guys I knew who were good. I played Marshall, and after I beat him, people were like, "You beat Marshall?" And I was like, "Yeah, I beat Marshall." And they were like, "He's really good." And I went, "Oh, cool." And then they said, "You got to play him again." And I went, "Fuck, that sucks." Just give me the one win against him. That would be great.
We can't just use my previous performance.
Right. Let me play 2 or 3 other people below him, and then that can be the condition to make me move past. So make me play him again, and then it was a lot of choking on that stream, but that's probably the biggest it's been for me. Was that event, which again I think is Edgeguard, and Marshall is probably the most well-known player that I've played against.
All right, Wellens, you are currently you got a record of 2-0 in the Division 2 Swiss Sage. In the week coming, you've got your match against LPJ. Whoever wins this immediately advances to Division 1 Swiss. What are your thoughts going into this match?
Well, LPJ is a Jigglypuff, and LPJ's Jigglypuff is frustratingly good.
Yep.
So I am nervous. I'm nervous about it.
Like, I'm a little confused.
I feel like when we play, just friendlies, they kind of go back and forth sometimes. But I'd say overall, I do tend to beat her Puff more than she beats my K Rule. But then there are days when she's just on it and she is crushing me, and I can't figure it out. And I'm like, this is great movement. Why don't you do this all the time? And once she learns to do that all the time, it's going to be a nightmare for everyone. But it's great for her. It's perfect for her. So yeah, I'm nervous.
I can't believe we're gonna see a Puff versus K Rule matchup. It sounds so wacky.
Has there been a Puff in Baddy before, Slade? I know KK plays Puff, but I don't think I've ever seen him played on stream.
I don't think we've ever had one on stream. Thrifty did play a bit of Puff. I maybe whipped it out once, but for the most part, I would just say no. I don't think there's been any success with it either on stream. So it's definitely a new thing for Baddy.
Gotcha. And K Rule's been a repeated character,
every season,
reoccurring
from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
like. A Baddy regular. Are you excited or are you nervous about playing the other known K Rules, Wellens, like Mad Cow? Zed isn't competing this season, but maybe he'll be back in future seasons.
I'm pumped. I love K Rule Dittos.
Okay.
And I like seeing how other K Rules play and adapting to their play style, because K Rule can be played, very regular, like a copy paste of the wiki, basically, or they can have their own style. And I like playing K Rules that have a little bit of style or a little bit of something that makes them stand out from other K Rules. And I know that that's kind of a fine line, but I see it, as a K Rule main, and I love the character, and I play the character. I see the little differences between Kirby Kid and Ben Gold when Ben Gold was playing K Rule. And I've watched a little bit of Mad Cow, and I've noticed some Mad Cow stuff, and I'm excited for Mad Cow to notice some Wellens stuff. And I think that'll be a super fun match. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think we need to have a K Rule crown that gets passed around between K Rule players.
That would be dope. Yeah.
We can start that. Slade. The K Rule of the year. who did the best this K Rule?
At the last Baddy Smash, we'll do a K Rule of the year.
I think we had Donkey Kong conversations until KK came in and just destroyed that conversation. But we could switch it over to the K Rule. K
Rule deserves it when you think about it.
I like how you
I
look
won't.
at that though. I do like how you're going into this with a very positive attitude, because a lot of people, including myself, have a hard time going into a Ditto, not because they're not fun, but because if you lose, you feel like,
Yeah,
I just lost. There's no excuses. It's the same character, and that might mean the other player might have, a better Joker than me, and it feels bad.
for sure. It's easier to shrug it off when you're playing like a secondary or a thirdary or a reserve member of your lineup. But when it's your main, you're right. You could be tugging at the oh boy, I hope I don't look like a fool. But I do hope I look like a fool, and I hope Bad Cow looks like a fool, because that's way more
Together.
fun. Yeah, we'll be fools together.
Fools together. Love it.
So let's just talk about Ultimate for right now. You've played all of them since 64. In Ultimate, which is the character you cringe at the most, where you're just not happy to play against this character?
It's a tie. Steven Minman. It's a tie. Steven, I hate them both with a passion. They're awful. They're the worst. We all agree on that.
I could definitely see that, especially in Min Min. Like, I can't imagine a top tier level like good Min Min. It just sounds, and I know in Japan, Min Min has been a terror.
If it's like, yeah, like if it's a top 10 Min Min, I'd love to play that because I want to see how they play. But I'll be pulling my hair out the entire time because it's not fun to play against. At least for me, the Steve and Min Min are so almost anti-Smash for me that, like, just seeing them, I instantly root against them because I want them to fail.
And do you have a favorite character to play against? And you said that you really enjoy the K. Rool Dittos. Is there another character that you really enjoy the matchup? Or is there a character you're just like, oh, this is an easy win. I can't wait to bully this character.
Ganondorf is an easy win for K. Rool. I mean, Ganondorf can do some stuff. Again, my experiences. I don't know what the matchup is. But my experiences are that Ganon is a pretty easy win, just from the gimp, and you can belly armor through a few smashes before it'll break. That'll trip a Ganondorf off. So I think a Ganondorf is a pretty easy win, but one that's not like an easy win. That's a nice back and forth. I don't know. I kind of like when it's a little bit of a challenging character for K. Rool. Like, I like beating characters that traditionally beat K. Rool.
Yeah, I can respect that. You like a challenge, like a good challenge.
But I still want to win. But I want it to be challenging, a challenging win. But I still want to win is the thing, and I want to make that very clear. I do want to win. Rich, you understand this?
I get it.
All right.
Message received.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. You want a challenging game that you're just a little bit better than the opponent, but it's close,
Right, close, but I still win. I can't make that clear enough.
So you have experience against most of the top players in the league. So answer me this question, Wellens. What do you think your chances are of taking first place?
Fine.
Just fine.
Slater, are you talking first place in D2 or winning the whole tournament?
I'm saying going all the way.
All the way. Winning Baddy Smash 6. Okay. All right.
I think I have a decently fine chance of making that happen. I've played, I mean, not regularly, but I have recently played some of the other people who were part of this season of Baddy Smash. And I know that there are matchups or people who I haven't played yet that are going to be a challenge because I have no idea how I'm going to stack up against them. But I know how I stack up against the people who I've listed already. And I think of that pool, I'd say my chance is fine. There's a decently fine chance.
Below 50% or above 50%?
Boy, is it shitty to say above 50? It is above 50.
It is not.
It's above
it is not
50%,
shitty.
I think.
It is not shitty to say you are confident that you can win Baddy Smash 6.
I think. I'm
okay.
Fairly confident that I can. I think the thing that'll get me is nerves. If I know I'm playing on stream, whether it's in real life or online, if it's being recorded and people are watching and it's not just a friendly game with friends where you can biff and attack and it's no big deal, where stuff like that matters, my nerves start to kind of get to me. But don't use that against me. I want to make that clear as well. Don't use that against me.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's you said you've gone to a decent amount of locals, but even 6 locals is not enough to really to really get that out of your system, if you're not someone who naturally just, doesn't panic. And I can't shake it completely either. I think it literally takes years. So you're not alone in that for sure.
It's something that certainly needs to be conditioned out. Like I very much enjoy having the spotlight on me and being a center of attention and grabbing people's attention. But when it's a skill, something like this or a talent, I think that's where I start to get in my own head. I can get up on stage and talk to people and have a good time. But if I'm on stage and I'm playing a game and my goal is to win that game, now it's competitive instead of just dicking around.
Yeah. So what I've learned today about you, Wellens, is you are too humble for this league.
Thank you.
I can hear it in your voice that you want to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna take number one. I know I could do it, but you're scooting around the edges, and you're being nice about it. And I do respect that.
It's a buffer in case I don't, because if I said I will, then I have to live with that forever. But if I say I might do it and I do it, then I'm like, I knew it.
Dang, it's that K rule pre-planning that I've never seen. No one in this league knows that.
That's me tossing the humble crown out, and I'm just waiting for it to boomerang back.
We all blow our loads at the beginning of the season, and then we lose, and we just pretend like it never happened.
You guys do more shit talking than I expected, and I like it.
Yeah, you gotta learn. You definitely gotta learn what you can say, who you can say it to, and stuff in the league. Like, I don't know, there's an art to it. Like, you just can't go around talking smack because people will hate you. But I don't know. There's just an art to it.
When I found out I had to play Reaver, I was immediately sad. That one night. So my first game was the placeholder, which was a bummer. But my second game was Reaver, and when AJS said you're playing Reaver, I told him awesome. But in my heart, I was like, no, the Reaver's my friend, and I want to have fun games with Reaver. So I sent him a message and I said, we have to play each other. And I sent a sad face, and he sent something back that's like, I know, I'm so excited. And that got me really jazzed up. And there wasn't shit talking, but there was I hope you do well. I hope you do well. But I'm also gonna beat you. Yeah, I know, but I'll try to beat you too.
Yeah, Reaver's gonna enjoy any match against anyone.
Mm-hmm. He's a good guy. I love that Reaver. By the way, I do need to make it clear, even though he did end up participating in this season of Baddy Smash, I am dedicating my run to him, and I'm doing it in his name, which is different than for his honor. I'm doing it in his name.
So if you win, does he get the K-Roll crown?
No, we'll cut it in half, and he can have half of it. But we're not going to do it down the middle, like vertical. We're going to do it horizontal, and I'll have the pointy part, and he can have the leftover brass.
He just gets a hairband.
It's just this weird bracelet.
Right. And I expect him to wear it.
Finally, Wellens, if you could add any character to Smash, some people might be satisfied with the roster. Some people are still waiting on their dream pick. But if you could add any character in Smash, who would it be?
So I have the character, and I will say it, but I want to take up more time before I do. So my most anticipated character for a long time was Sonic, and then right behind that was Diddy Kong, and then right behind that was K. Rool. So I got Charizard is in there too somewhere, but I forget. So I got Sonic and Diddy in Smash in Brawl. And I was like, dope, this is perfect. All I need is K. Rool and I'm set. And then K. Rool finally got announced for Ultimate. And I knew, like, before he was announced, I knew K. Rool was going to be my main. Any game K. Rool showed up in, that was my main for that game. And then I had a couple got checked off the list. Banjo, obviously a huge one. I wish I enjoyed him a bit more, but I'm glad he's finally in the game. And then kind of after that, I felt like for a while, I don't really care. Like, I'm indifferent to it. I hope really popular characters get in because their fans are excited. So, like, again, I loathe Steven Min, but they're in the game now, and I'm happy for fans of that character. But there hasn't been that one to me, like, if they got announced, I'd jump up out of my seat and go crazy over. Except, at this point, freaking Waluigi would be so hype if he got announced. He is a meme character, and he'll get in not on the strength of his character, but on the strength of the fan base. And that's huge. That's insane. He would be so cool. And he feels like the one Mario character missing at this point. I mean, they got Daisy in, and they got Piranha Plant, but no Waluigi. So for me at this point, Waluigi gets announced. There's no one else that trumps that excitement at this point for me. Like whether it's Sora, Master Chief, none of that. It all pales in comparison to Waluigi being announced and showing up with his racket and whacking people all over the place. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
No Goku.
No Goku. No, I'll tell you what though. If Goku gets announced, I'll be sad. But if he comes with a Vegeta Echo Fighter, I'm for it.
No, you can't. No, I would not be cool with
I
that.
will
I would
never
not
play
be cool with that.
Goku, but I would co-main Vegeta for
You
sure.
know what's funny is when we were playing Brawl back in the days, I had a buddy who would always be like, "What if Goku and Cloud were in Smash Brothers? They'd be so cool." And now one of them got in, which is honestly unbelievable.
Agreed. Incredible that he made it in.
Yeah, I remember when Ryu was announced, and I called a friend of mine, and I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I was like, if they let Ryu in, I think they just opened Pandora's box. I think anybody's getting it now. and then they dropped Cloud, and I was like, oh, here it comes.
They broke
Here comes the maelstrom. Here comes anybody. Literally anybody's on their way. Yeah, but I'm happy. I was happy Ryu got announced. I was happy Cloud got announced.
Yeah, those are big gets.
Okay. I think that's all we got. Thank you, Wellens, for joining us for your interview. We wish you the best in week 2 in your match against LPJ. If you win, you have completed your Division 2 Swiss run, and you advance to the Division 1 Swiss, where you will play against the 8th seed whenever we finish this round robin.
Ooh,
if you lose, you go 2-1, and you just have to keep playing in D2 Swiss against other people that have gone 2-1. But yeah, we wish you the best.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you very much for having me on here. I'm really looking forward to my match against LPJ. It should be fun and entertaining for both of us and everyone.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you play, man. I think you're going to fit in just well in the Baddy League.
Thank you. Fit in well, ends.
Did it.